Morning, friends. It is 12:48 a.m. on Monday, the 20th of January, 2025. Let's do a love reading. I'm feeling pretty happy and at peace, and just a lot of love, a lot of good readings yesterday, and so far, a little bit I've done tonight. It's been pretty good. So I want to do a love reading, I think. I want you to, if this message resonates with you, I want you to look up angel number 444. And your spirit message right off the bat, I can tell you, is this: embrace change. Be open to change and just embrace it. That's what spirit is really putting in there. And it's come through pretty much in the majority of the readings that I've done yesterday and the couple I've done tonight so far. So with that said, let's see what we're looking at. Return. I hear the lyric from a Dean Martin song, "Return to me." So return. Somebody's coming back. Somebody's coming back. And going with what Spirit's putting out there with change, they've changed. And they're coming back, changed. You've changed. There's been some distance maybe there. Think the dynamics have changed. Like, this is, maybe things were rocky and tumultuous. I think they were rocky. Let's go with that. And they were just really, you had highs, you had lows, ups and downs, roller coasters. The dynamics have changed now. Things are going to be different, the way they should have been all along. And so just, embrace that. Be grateful for that. The change in both of you. It was needed change in both of you, is what I'm hearing. Is both of you needed to change. So don't take the high road and say, oh, well, they needed to change and this is what needed to happen for things to be where they're going to be. No. That's not the case. Both of you needed to change. And if you're still at that point where you're looking down and saying that person needed to change and they were the reason, then this is not going to work. This return is not going to work because you have not done the work you need to do in order for this to happen. So you need to get off your high horse and kind of realize that you still got work to do. And it's going to continue to be rocky. So withdrawn. This has been a case for both of you, I think, from what I'm seeing. I'm seeing the number 2. So this is like both of you were doing this. Both of you withdrew from each other. I think one of you probably, from what it feels like, withdrew out of fear and safety. The inability to be that vulnerable, because you didn't totally 100% feel safe because of the fears you had because of your past. I think the other person withdrew. They withdrew almost like out of self-preservation is what I'm hearing. It wasn't anger, but it was like they had to do this for themselves, and that's where I'm hearing the song Land of Confusion. Confusion kicks in. So the dynamics have changed now, and that's going to all be, I'm hearing a lot of stuff about talking. You different lyrics, different things. I'm seeing the word in like neon sign, like Spirit showing me talk. That things are going to be able to be talked about. Communication Breakdown is a song they're putting in my head right now by Led Zeppelin. There was a big communication breakdown between the two of you. And that's what kind of led to this withdrawing. But both of you needed to withdraw to find yourselves, or figure out some shit. So this was a good thing that the withdrawing happened. It may have not felt like it, but for either of you, but it was needed. Shocking. Now then things are going to start, y'all are going to be talking to each other about, because of this withdrawing from each other and this now coming back and returning to each other. You're both going to be shocked at a lot of things. How the other one has changed, how you've changed, how you handle things, how they handle things. And there's going to be a lot of things that you're able to now reveal to this person, and they're going to be able to reveal to you about their past and that kind of thing. And It's going to be shocking to the both of you. But this is needed. This is needed for both of you. It's something both of you have always wanted, but never have found the right people, the person to do that with. But now you've got that. This is like soulmate, twin flame, maybe even. But it feels more soulmate-ish right now. But it could be twin flame. It could be runner chaser for sure. But both of you withdrew. Both of you withdrew, which leans me more along the lines of soulmate. With this. Broken. Oh yeah, both of you are broken, and you're both mirroring. So this could very well be a twin flame situation. Both of you are mirroring each other and triggering, and that could have been part of why you had to withdraw from each other. You were seeing your shit in them, and they were seeing their shit in you. You know, you were them, they are you. You're both part of the oversoul. So yeah, that very well could be it. That you both are broken. You're both broken, but you saw your reflection in them, and they saw their reflection in you, even though you're both broken. But there's beauty in both of your brokenness, and both of you are able to recognize that, and that's a good thing. This really feels just absolutely beautiful. It does. If I could almost cry, really, is the way I feel about it. It's so inspiring, and just feel such optimism, hope with it. So this resonates for you. This is really good. Silence. Now is the time for you to listen when the other one talks. You need to let the walls down and listen when they talk, as well as they need to do that as well. Now it's not the time for arguments and, well, if you had done this, then no blaming. There's no blaming. There's none of that stuff. Now is the time to really listen to each other. Get out of here and come here. You got to listen to each other if you want this to work. You got to talk, but you also have to listen. And that's a huge thing. I think both of you feel like you weren't heard. And the thing is, I think that you both were. You may have been heard, maybe not the way you wanted to be heard. Maybe you came across as saying something, but it was interpreted a different way from the other person, and vice versa. As I said, you both are mirroring each other. And this is probably a flaw that both of you have, is it's not a case of you heard what you wanted to hear. That's not it. It's a case of like misinterpretation is what I'm getting with that. Boundaries. Yeah. Both of you need to set the boundaries with each other. You need to talk about it though. You need that. This whole thing, I feel like it could have been avoided with the two of you had you both been able to be honest with yourselves. You and them be honest with themselves. Really stepping out of here, the ego mind, and been here, both of you all along, then this would have never happened. But it was meant to happen though. See, that's the thing. It was meant to happen. But now you've got to talk, and you need to set the boundaries. But you need to talk about the boundaries and explain them to the other person. This is what I'm going to put up with and what I'm not going to put up with. And the other person is so willing, I feel, to accept those boundaries. Just as I think that when that person tells you their boundaries, you're going to be so willing to accept them. As I said, this is just beautiful. It really is. It really is. One day. You take it one day at a time. This is not something that's going to happen overnight. You're not going to get this blissful situation that both of you want or have in your minds. It's going to be one day at a time. It's going to be, slow and steady winning the race type of deal. So, yeah. And escaping. You've been escaping in here. Your egos. You've been escaping in your minds. Here's where you've been escaping. Here. I'm with the escaping. I'm also seeing running. Both of you running, that withdrawing, escaping like from each other. But now it's not the time to do that. Now it's not the time to be avoiding things. You need to lay it all on the table. Lay all your cards out on the table. Because you have to do that in this situation. It's what both of you need. It's what both of you absolutely have to have. And finally, spying. You've both been looking at each other's stuff. You've both been in this separation. You've both been looking at each other's shit, trying to see what's going on, trying to see, are they still talking about me? They're checking my stuff out. that kind of thing. You've been asking people about it. This is meant to be, guys.